Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are back on schedule. Midweek show's back at it. Me and Nathan here on the couch. Another
ridiculous
week.
week.
I say this week is not about. There's different storylines this week. You said it rightly to me in the text message. The weekend for the goalkeepers. The goalkeepers union can
give them some love.
Can stand up and have an applause.
We like to take the piss out of them, but, and maybe rightly so sometimes.
Yeah, we like to abuse them, but this week's their week.
This week's their week.
Fair
play to them.
A week of interesting penalty calls. A week of former players scoring against their clubs. A week of goalkeeping saves, and to honestly, a week of teams that we would expect winning in the end.
Yeah,
getting over the line.
Yeah,
I think
getting the job done.
Yeah, and I think I said it on the Monday pod. I think it's for once. I think the clubs will take these international breaks. It looked like everyone was a bit cooked.
Yeah,
not that they're not going to get any rest from the international break, but it looked like everyone was just the football had dropped off a little bit. Champions League had come back, and it was like, let's just catch our breath here. And
it's a bit worrying, I think, already to kind of everyone be saying that because I mean after this international break, I don't think there's one till like January.
Yeah, turn of the year, I think. Yeah.
So, it's this is probably a good time. For a lot of coaches just to see where they're at and bring on the busy Christmas period. The real tough. The real storylines, I think, where teams are made of. So it's good for us. We'll see.
That's good.
We'll see what teams.
You're gonna have a lot of football happening.
There'll be no doubt a couple of shock teams that sort of fall off a cliff. Sort of happens every year. So
who's gonna be the Napoli?
I was about to say who's going to have three coaches over this period. So
who's the Napoli? Who's the Girona? We're waiting for who to go into their spots. We'll get into the top with La Liga. We're actually speaking about Girona. The top with Girona getting their first. I wrote it down in the title as the first proper scalp of the season. It was close against PSG. I think they really outplayed in the Champions League in the second game. They've gone close, but they've never really looked like it. But on the weekend, obviously Gazzaniga heroics, but in the end, I think a deserved victory.
Yeah, I'd say so.
They probably deserve a point, but in the end, I think they'll take the 3 points. Obviously, I can't really take the penalties as penalties because they're all shit. Like all the penalties that were taken were just like some of the worst.
Yeah, they were. You'd say they were all penalties?
Oh, they were all penalties. Yeah. Sorry, but when you talk about big chances and I talk about great penalty saves.
Yeah.
Talk about a waste. All three penalties were soft and basically down the middle.
The one that probably should have been saved like the most in terms of if you were ranking them was the one that went in.
In the end. I was thinking come on. It was a funny old game. I think it was in the end deserved for Girona. 2-1 victory. They get their first as a proper win of the season and then jump now to 13th. So
I think they're still kind of mid-table.
It does a lot in terms of the points. You look at the points differential, it looks a little bit better, but I think it was a much needed.
Yeah, it's probably been common as well, that big scalp. I know Barca, like the scoreline didn't look great, but they were okay that game. The PSG one, which was a last minute sort of own goal, I think it was from
in the end.
So they've been sort of hanging around, but it's a needed result, I think. I think you said it. I think probably like 2-3 weeks ago. It's just going to be this type of season for them where they'll win some of these games against Bilbao, and then they might lose to Leganes, next week. So it's going to be one of those seasons. But, it's a big confidence booster.
You've got to take that big time. Athletic Club was sort of just on the kick. You felt like into gear. They sort of get going.
They had a couple of players out as well.
Yeah.
So
I think for Girona as well, they've had a few injured as well. I think it's going to, we just talked about before, like the testing time of the season.
Yeah.
With the 8 champions, so 2 extra Champions League games over his Christmas period, a game like this, they could look back on. I don't want to be pessimistic, but they could look back in that moment and think like, thank God we got those 3 points because they could be only 6 clear of the drop sort of thing.
That's true. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I'm looking at it, the Liga table is very congested. Like
the mids. It's sort of the top 2 and then
take the rest.
Whoever's third, we know who's third. They won't move from third all season. I don't think.
Yeah, it's going to be
the best
2,
of the rest.
third, and then just everyone else.
Exactly,
so it's going to be a big old scrap, and equally it could turn into a good 3 points if they go knocking for Conference League or something in the end of the season. But equally, if it does go tits up, they've got a little bit of a buffer there. So I think looking back at it, it's going to be a a handy result for them.
Yeah.
Especially the way they won it.
One they had to get 100% before the international break. So they'll get most of their players will get a good rest, and they'll. I mean, Champions League's half of them because I don't think they won last week in the Champions League.
No.
So they've lost their first 2 games. They've still got to play a lot of tough teams like Liverpool, for example. So I think for them, they'll obviously still play their strongest team in those games, but it's more when you get to the sort of 60th minute, do you just take them off and
rest the boys?
You know, the La Liga's a bit more important. So
it's gonna be an interesting one.
Yeah, it'll be
interesting.
It'll be good watch.
Good watch. Hopefully
we'll see how good Michelle really is. This will be a big test.
I'm about to say, if he can get this team mid-table,
I think that'd be a massive achievement.
I'd take him at United.
Surely he's got to be one of the favourites, right? Not Southgate or you know. Should be Iraola and your man.
I'm gonna say if Southgate's a manager out there, then God,
crazy.
It's
Ten Hag at the wheel. Like, take him, man. Take him.
I'm surprised no one's really gone in for Michelle yet. Maybe it's the unknown.
Maybe it's one of those. It's like a bit of Sebastian.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's maybe the same. Maybe it's just people seeing maybe another year of this, and then
multiple seasons.
Yeah, and then. But I think them two, they'll get
surely a
loads
job.
of offers.
At least a Premier League team would
100%,
go up with all the money.
I mean, we've set Man City for Sebastian Hoeneß.
It feels like
it feels like he's the next one.
The destined to fill into the hole.
Your man.
Let's not make
Your
that
pride
happen.
and
Let's not make that happen, please. From Pep to someone else that's really
Jesus,
capable as well. I'd rather not. Another quick one on La Liga. Obviously, the big teams have won the last few weeks. But I guess we weren't here last week, and Osasuna somehow beat Barcelona.
Somehow, yeah.
And this is one of those ones. This is not a gaming recap. It's more just the team itself. It's nothing special. They're -1 goal difference.
Yeah,
they've only scored 12 goals.
Yeah.
But after here we go. So after I'm 15 points now. After 9 games, sit 5th on the table. Only lost 2 games, and they average less than 1 big chance a game. But they're getting the job done.
Just getting it done.
On the weekend, it was an ugly sort of performance versus Getafe, but still, like early in the season, 9 games, they were basically just under a third there, and you're sitting there in 5th. And I think that we have to appreciate one of these teams because I think next week we'll talk about. I think next week we'll keep a spot for Frankfurt on their own, just a whole talk about them. But they're one of the few teams this year that sort of bolted early on. Surprised early on. I guess you can say Fulham in the Prem, but sitting happily in 5th with some other teams that are around there as well. I think Vallecano was up there as well.
Yeah,
but
I think they're 8th.
That's impressive.
Yeah, there's a couple of other teams. I think we had one of them teams going down, and I think they're up there as well. I think so.
Yeah, there's a few.
There's a few. I mean, as you said, it's all kind of congested with a lot of teams at the moment. But yeah, whether it's sustainable or not, because you look at sort of the way they're playing, and if you just look at the stats purely on stats, like they've got a -1 goal difference. Yep. They've only scored 12 goals, but regardless, you still got to, appreciate the fact and celebrate the fact that they're doing so well. They started off so well. So, again, I haven't watched a whole lot. I've just watched a couple of highlights here and there. But if they keep going the way they're going, I think this could be another Bologna. We could be learning a lot of their names real quick. Really quick.
They're 2 points off Atletico. Like that's sort of where
we're something for Atletico. And
I'm about to say that's saying a lot for Atletico.
Man, we could do a whole segment on them.
5 draws is ridiculous.
It's just the way that they're playing. It's just the defensive setup in it. But yeah, I know a lot of people unhappy with Atletico at the minute.
I wasn't planning to talk about them, but they are in all sorts of.
Maybe that's a big watch. So I think if they keep going the way they're going,
especially the
Champions, I think we won't have a choice but to talk about them.
Especially the Champions League, was it 4-0? They went down in the end.
Yeah, was it Benfica?
Yeah,
they just capitulated. Yeah,
my God,
that's With all due respect, it's Benfica. Like
yeah, it's Benfica. They're
It's
the old
dudes.
It's not like
Sporting the way they're playing at the minute. It's not great.
It's a lot of
A lot of questions.
We sort of mentioned today because you sort of you lay your own bed to lie if you bowl these players and you can't perform.
Yep.
You sort of got the key to your own exit door. Like how can you not
bang on? Yeah.
How can you not make this work? Alvarez is starting to score, but him and Saul,
it's not very disjointed.
This is not. It's just simply not working.
Like Alvarez scores, but besides that, he's that's all he's doing. There's just nothing else to it, and it's not necessarily his fault, but it's just a whole lot of talent put together with a system that was done 10 years ago. To be honest,
So, come and gone.
It was a hell of a system. It caused havoc in La Liga, and in the Champions League they did well by getting to a final. But yeah, it's kind of past its point. To be honest, with what they've got, it's too good. It's too good of a front line to be having Griezmann playing literally at right back and tracking back in his own box. Like, he was clearing the ball in his own 6-yard box. Like, well, like, that's just...
What's going on?
That's Griezmann, man.
One of the most talented forwards of our generations, clearing the ball out of his own... But yeah, it's a funny old...
Funny old watch.
Like we went last year, maybe it's Simeone this year.
Maybe it is, yeah. But again, like, we can't really see them going to second or dropping to fourth.
No.
Like, they just feel
they're still unbeaten. They're just not impressive.
It's the most, like... It's the worst unbeaten run I've ever seen, I think.
Yeah, there's Leverkusen unbeaten runs, and there's like this type of unbeaten run where you're like, what the hell?
How the mighty have fallen. We had Leverkusen, and now we've got the Atletico Madrid Invincibles with 32 draws.
Warren Invincibles.
Warren Invincibles.
Fifth place in La Liga. Warren Invincibles.
Round of 16 Champions League.
Getting bounced out by, I don't know, some stinkers from Netherlands.
Losing 4-0 to Benfica.
It's
crazy.
awful.
Crazy, yeah.
But there's a lot to be excited about. I think Villarreal are still around the place.
Yeah, your boys still hanging in there.
They're in fourth. Atletico, Osasuna, Mallorca up there. Yeah. It's going to be pretty...
I think Sevilla have won 2 in a row. My boys.
They're back.
They're 12th. They're back. They're 12th.
It is true, though. If you win 2 games, you spring like 6 spots in the table.
I think they were like 17th, and now they're 12th. So
yeah, 12th. Same points as Girona.
As my surprise team, please just gain a few more spots to give me some
if they
credibility.
Win and everyone above them for some reason loses. They go 5th. So that's sort of where you're at. That's where you're at with La Liga at the moment. It's chaos at its finest.
Yeah.
You know what has been chaos and been chaos forever is the Bundesliga. The 2 big boys both during the weekend. Leverkusen 2-2 to Holstein Kiel at home, and then we'll get into the Bayern game more in depth. Frankfurt 3, Bayern 3. Like, I tell you what, they the other teams around them are licking their lips.
Big time.
Looking at this.
Big time.
I mean, Leipzig especially.
When they won, Leipzig. I think we should touch on them briefly in a little bit. I think we've been maybe a little harsh on them. The fact that they're second.
They're unbeaten as well.
They're unbeaten as well, and they're second. I know it's not the most free-flowing football, but they are second. And just with Leverkusen, I mean, I think when they beat Wolfsburg in the last minute, we sort of said it doesn't become a problem until they start dropping points. Well, now's the problem. Yeah. Now it starts because they're 2-0 up. They're absolutely cruising, and they just, again, to give a goal in the 45th minute, crap corner again. They've conceded a lot of goals from corners this year. Yeah. A lot of goals from corners. So that's something that teams have gone to work on, I guess, with Leverkusen. And second half, they came out. Again, they just didn't put the game to bed. Had a bunch of chances. Couldn't put it away, and Holstein could have actually...
They should have won it.
They could have nicked it at the end, which is
back
mental,
awful.
Yeah,
I don't know what he was doing.
Head into the ground. It gives the keeper time, doesn't it? So
they're like, what are you doing, mate?
It just kind of sums up them, though. I mean, they're probably going down still, but
that is the worst team.
Point. Yeah, they are the worst team. They're probably the worst team we've had in a long time. Yeah. With all due respect.
Yeah, sorry. They drew to Leverkusen, but
I know. With all due respect, but Leverkusen that's a result that I think could affect the season big time. Because how you can't draw to that. You can't. No. If you want to win the league, you can't draw to that. If this was Bayern, we'd be going mental. So we have to give we have to give the same energy to Leverkusen, and it just they played a strong team as well. Like Boniface started, Wirtz started.
Change was Andrich at centre half. The rest of that was a starting side.
It was a normal defense.
Grimaldo, Frimpong was still there.
Exactly. So this was their pretty much strongest team against the worst team in the league.
Yeah. At your home deck where you dominated.
2-0 up.
Yeah.
It's probably the international break's perfect time for them to just completely wipe what's happened at the start of this season, because they haven't, even the games they've won, they haven't looked convincing.
That's the thing. I think you said it. Similar to that thing you said before about it's not a problem till it's a problem. Defensively, it's looked shaky, right? Yeah. And I think towards the back end last season, sort of from Karabag onwards, they were just vibes of like, we'll concede, but we'll just keep scoring like these winners, right?
Yeah.
But there's only so much magic that Wirtz and Schick and Boniface can produce. And it's almost like, I was watching, I was like, it's almost like you scored too early in this game. Like
pretty much, yeah.
It's gotten to that point where with Leverkusen, yes, the football is okay, but it's like it has to work in a certain manner.
Because they just can't defend for long enough.
They can't hold.
They're so patchy.
Like that goal to be conceded, that is like a relegation level defensive effort. Like he was unmarked.
Yeah,
in
literally
from
given a free run
from a
at the
set
ball.
piece. Like how can you not?
Yeah.
Have someone man up, someone running into the black.
Even the penalty they got. I mean, Tar did his best Boateng impression of when Messi ran past him. He just collapsed, bro.
Just fell over.
Fell over. He was like, "Oh, Bayern wants me again."
Yeah,
oh,
let me have a
he's
look.
gone past me. And then like the penalty. I don't know if Frimpong got the ball or not. From the highlights, they didn't show.
They show anything, yeah.
But it probably is a penalty. I mean, you can't really. I think he got the man first before the ball, but
yeah, you're right. If that looks like a basket case, like it just doesn't look like it's.
I don't know. Yeah,
but where's that ruthless Leverkusen?
Exactly. It's. I don't know where teams are getting at them. Like obviously they're conceding a lot of corners, but just from open play, I don't know how teams are getting through them so easily. Because like Xhaka is still having a great season. Wirtz has arguably been the player of the season.
Yeah.
So far he's been that good. Boniface has been ridiculous.
Yeah, goals.
I don't know. I just think it's probably just their centre backs. I mean, Tar's been pretty bad, to be honest. He hasn't been great.
This is
Mukiele's
after that
Wolfsburg game.
He might never play ever again.
There's Tapsoba and it's just I don't know. It just doesn't feel. It's just weird. I don't know what it is defensively. I genuinely don't know what it is.
I feel like they need to go back to the basics. Start the same back five for 5 games in a row.
Yeah.
Because they start playing well with Hincapié not starting, and it isn't like he's the guy for. He's always the one that
Jesus.
He was always the guy that gets sort of like chucked aside almost. He's the one that rotates in and out. Not that it's a bad thing, and I don't know about his fitness levels, but I always see him as a pivotal piece, that back on the Rolls Royce equivalent in that back three. 100%. Then you got like the Tar situation. Happens a lot of players. I've seen it before. You don't get your move. You say you're committed, but realistically, your mind's not there.
And all it takes is that
0.1% to be off, and you're off.
100%.
And I think now it's like a case of, I think you need some continuity. Like,
yeah.
As much as they're trying to force Terry in this side. He's, for me, being one of the most underwhelming signings of the season.
100%.
Get him out, like play your proper, but get Teller in there. You know, get the guys who were there last season playing.
Keep playing Hoffman and stuff.
Yeah, and go with Andrich in the midfield alongside Xhaka because I don't. Why would you break something up that works? For me, I think that's what makes them turn. That's what makes them tick. That's what makes them operate. That's what allows the fullbacks to push on because you've got those two in there that are so. They know their role. They're sacrificing their game for the fact of the team's performance, and you have those two in front of the back three. Tar can slip over because you've got the coverage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
whereas you've got Andrich playing centre back out of position. Bit small. I think he was sort of at fault for the goal because I think it was supposed to be his man.
The
first header. It was zonal.
He was very flat-footed.
Yeah, it was a lot of zonal stuff, but I'm pretty sure from watching him back, it was his guy.
He kind of stood there, and the guy.
The guys. So this is the problem. Like, respect to Xabi Alonso, he rotated a lot last year towards the back end, but we're fresh in the season.
But that's where sort of when he started rotating, that's when the kind of
turn around.
But we obviously it was just a wave of momentum. We weren't bothered about that. It was look at this invincible run. They're going to win the treble or whatever. So I 100% agree that he just needs to play the same team for 5-6 games. You know, if you want to sub on Terrier and Alex Garcia and these guys, do it in the 80th minute. I'm
not saying they're problems. I just think the problem right now is the team's not there. Like the United group isn't there anymore. And it's Holstein kill. I feel bad. We're just ripping into it, but they are rubbish. They're not good. Bayern put 6 past them 3 weeks ago, was it?
Exactly.
And they
had the game done in 10 minutes.
Yeah. Well, Boniface scored another offside goal in the 20-something minute. Yeah. So it was done. It was wrapped up. It
was done.
And then
and then it happened.
And then it happened.
So it's not the same Leverkusen, that's for sure. Not even just the ruthless nature of just how they play. It's not there.
Yeah, a lot to work on in the international.
But
break.
again, they're still
they've only got 1 loss.
Exactly, And again, I think they're only like 4 or 5 points off Bayern. So
yeah, 3
if
points
any
off.
team can get on a run,
Well, yeah,
we know it's them. So
second highest scoring team, but the most goals conceded in the top half of the table.
That's mental.
That's the problem.
That is mental. Considering how good they were
last year as well, and with the back five they have set up sometimes, it looks very solid.
Very.
You know who wasn't solid? Neither Frankfurt nor Bayern, because it was a 3-3. No, you know what? It was a classic.
Crazy game, man.
If anything, again,
that was Bundesliga again.
You captured the Bundesliga logo. This is you're going to show someone. Your man, Mum, or you went early than him. You went early, and he is cooked.
Bro, he cooked, man. He was insane.
The world has taken notice. He's on every Instagram post I look at.
He was insane, this guy. Man.
This game. I love what Frankfurt is doing. Again, next week, I'll make sure whatever, we'll highlight them next week, because that's their chance. But my God, they took it to Bayern in their way.
They are very exciting to watch, aren't they? I watched the extended highlights of this, and I mean, Mamush was holy moly.
Every time he gets his head down,
it was incredible. The second goal where he assisted Ekatike, he just Upamecano, no chance. It was a crazy game, man. That was just 2 really good teams going at it. And you can look at Bayern and say defensively so shaky, but I just think you go to, with how Frankfurt are playing, with how they look this season, I think that's a good point.
In the end,
know, they came from behind as well when Frankfurt went 2-1 up, and you're thinking, Frankfurt, if this was Bayern last year, they lose that game. They probably lose 4-1, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that game. But there needs to be a conversation, I think, about the back two for Bayern, Kim Min-jae and Upamecano. I think one of them, probably more so Upamecano, because I think if they're going to win the league, go far in the Champions League, I just don't see how he's good enough, to be honest. I mean, Mamush made him look fucking second grade, third grade. He took the piss out of him sometimes. So.
It's a development, because this is what we said last season. It's not like last season because there was different level of counter attack, but when you play that high line, they just don't have any pace to cover off.
Even the last goal. I mean, Mamush is off, and Kim Min-jae is just ball watching. And he just runs past him, and he scores a great goal. So they're both at fault for 2 goals, and you can't have both your centre backs making mistakes, goals in a game as big as that. With Leverkusen dropping points, Dortmund have been poor. Leipzig won, so they build the pressure on them. It's what a watch the Bundesliga is, man.
It was back to its best. The performances, like Kane, I think it was solid despite not getting on the score sheet. Obviously, Elise is doing what he's doing best. They love that dude. He's smashing it.
Incredible.
Obviously, the first goal for Bayern was deserved. They just kept peppering away. Tell you what, Thomas Muller coming in as well, very unfortunate to score himself. He was involved in everything.
Should have scored that 1-on-1.
I felt like, that was a key moment for me. I think he scored that again when it's like
Was that a 1-0, 1-1?
I think 1-1.
Was it 1-1 maybe?
I
think it was
1-1 before TK scored.
Because I know Mamush gave the ball away, and I was like, oh my God, no. Don't do this.
when Thomas Muller scores for Bayern, it's like, I don't know, Jordan, like a Steven Gerrard scoring for Liverpool, like a Roy Keane scoring for it's a legend of the clubs, and everyone gets up, right?
Everyone.
So that felt like a bit of a game-changing moment, especially with the way he was playing, so involved. Even at the end there as well, he could have won it at the back stick,
he could
right at the end.
He could have,
tight angle, good save from the keeper to make himself big. It felt like Thomas Muller was destined to do something in that game. I think they were solid enough, Frankfurt, to not allow him to get any real massive chances outside of those 2 chances there. But I guess, the question has to be asked now about the back two, because, you're right. It's all well and good having a great 3-3 game, but if you want to be the title winners, you kill that game off.
Kind of a back two doing that every couple of games. So, a lot to work with Company from a defensive point of view. Going forward, they are incredible. They're probably on par, maybe just below Barca in terms of going forward. Best team in the world. Going forward, they look great. They still create a lot of chances in that game to win it. When it was 3-2, they still had a couple of chances, but I think the keeper made some great saves. But I think that's just one that the back two need to have a look in the mirror and realise kind of what they're doing defensively right now isn't good enough to go far in the Champions League. It might even cost them in the league.
The league might get, basically.
Exactly.
If Leverkusen start to find, both of them, if they both find defensive solidity, we've got to, because Leipzig have become the defensive master.
They've turned into Simeone's ball.
Like blocks and
no attacking output, just defend. I mean, it's working so far. So
top of the league.
It's a new look Leipzig, and I'm here for it if it means they're going to challenge.
Where we go, Bayern 14, Leipzig 14. The goal difference ridiculous.
It's outrageous.
13 for Bayern, 7 for Leipzig.
Yeah.
Leipzig have conceded 2 goals this season, but scored only 9. Bayern have conceded 7, but scored 20.
Their defense at the moment is very underrated in terms of world football. Like all the talks about Juventus and Liverpool and Arsenal and maybe Barcelona, but they've conceded 2 goals, man.
It's.
I don't know if they've played any outstanding teams yet. I don't think, but still, I mean, you got to beat what's in front of you. So
have a look back at it last.
I don't think they versed anyone major.
Heidenheim 1-0 on the weekend, obviously. The week prior, they beat Augsburg at home. Then prior to that, they beat St. Pauli.
Yeah, I know they beat Holstein like 1-0 at some point, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's nothing. It's not
Union
like
they drew to. But they beat Leverkusen obviously early on the season. Forget about that. The 3-2. That crazy game.
Yeah, that was
another Bundesliga special there. And then Bochum match day 1-1-0. So it's not.
So they had Union who have started off well, drew that, and then beaten Leverkusen. So
there's some reasonable results.
There's a decent sample size there to suggest that this could be a genuine title.
Somewhat
challenge,
sustainable.
So hopefully.
I'll tell you what, who isn't sustainable though is Dortmund on the road. Another loss on the road.
Hang on,
they cannot play away from them. They come off of that. What was it? 6? How many goals they scored against Celtic? 6, 7?
Was it 7-1? I think it was 7-1.
7-1 at home.
Yeah.
After Celtic had beaten old mate, the other
5-0,
made up
6-0, whatever it was,
team, and they got brought to rally. But Dortmund again lose this time 2-1 to Union on the road. Max Bayer got his first proper involvement. And struggled. So that was something for me to be pissed about. I'll tell you what, Union again, similar to a few teams on the weekend, winning without having much of the ball.
Yeah, no.
Counter-attacking, take their moments.
But they dominated the game, I would say.
But I would say, but in terms of chances,
nothing.
Dortmund struggle. They struggle
away from home. They don't start off games well away from home, and that just causes so much problems.
Yeah.
Their first off against Stuttgart was ridiculously bad. Like they should have been probably 4-5-0 down.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Kobel. This game, they just had nothing first off. They were just dreadful. And Union would rightfully 2-0 up.
Yeah.
Ryerson gets a goal, and then again they just
there wasn't really much after that to talk about. It was a slow finish.
Yeah, it's concerning, but these are the same problems that we addressed at the start of the season with Sahin. I mean, these results will just happen.
Yeah, you're gonna
because
expect
it's his first gig. The thing is, they got such a good team. Slaughterbeck, defensively as well. You'd expect them to be so much better with Slaughterbeck back there, and he's got the experience of the league, and
he was the hero of the Champions League as well last season.
Yeah, so it's a bit. I think the loss of experience for me, that's always been a big thing with me. When you lose Hummels, Royce, I think there's a couple of others, that's just a lot of experience gone out of the team.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense. So if you play well at home and can't travel, that's just the veteran legs.
They probably won't lose at home.
No.
But will they win away?
the great question to ask us.
Will they win away?
It just seems like an unsustainable style. I said it on Monday about Ange's Spurs. Respect it, this modern possession attacking football. But if you don't have a plan B when the team goes 1-0 up or you go 1-0 up to manage a game, how far can you really go? Even the best teams. So on the weekend, as I'm saying, international break came at a good time. Watching all the big three in the Prem in-depthly, none of them played fantastic. Yeah, no. Actually, they're probably all 5, 6 out of 10s, but they all won because they can all manage games.
They know how to control games. Dortmund.
Bayern know how to manage games.
Yeah.
Dortmund feel like they don't have that yet.
No.
You need a plan B, I think.
It is concerning. But
just very worried.
I mean, in the first half against Stuttgart and the first half against Union, I can't remember them hitting one long ball. Just gain some territory.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Got Adiemi up there, got Gittins up there.
Exactly. You got a good ball playing midfield.
Yep.
Like get it up there, man. Gain some territory. But yeah, that's something that Sahin's gonna have to learn from.
I'll learn from it quick.
Yeah, because the pressure's mounting with how much they've spent. Because they have spent a lot of money.
They've had a lot of change, haven't they?
Yeah,
Below Union now, 10 points.
Well, aren't they like eighth or something?
Seventh.
Yeah.
1 point ahead of Heidenheim and Stuttgart as well.
Yeah, they'd want to start to find a bit of consistency in their play.
Yeah, very soon.
Forget results, just find some consistency because the results will then come.
Well, they're sitting top of Champions League, top of, or second in Champions League.
Well, they flogged Celtic, and then they beat
Bruges
3-0. So yeah, they probably are top.
Them all breast at top, yeah. So, like you're firing in Champions.
But again,
League.
like it's Bruges and a Celtic team that was just
not at the races,
abysmal. So
yeah, very true.
Yeah,
there's a lot to worry about their league.
I think Adiemi, he was a big loss on the weekend.
Yeah,
big loss.
It's gonna be fun how they get all them all in that side.
I think Mallon's got to play as well. He was on the bench.
Been good off the bench.
Yeah.
Mallon's been good forever off the bench. You got Max Byers. I think it's the next big thing.
That's
Garassi, the top striker in the league.
Why couldn't he stay at Hoffenheim, man? Why?
They need you as well.
I know they are cooked without you, and you're cooked without them.
Yeah. So everyone lost out of that transfer.
No one won. Yeah.
Talk about a flop transfer.
Yeah.
Definitely a track over there as well. As is a few teams, I think, in the Bundesliga.
100%. Yeah.
No defense, classic Bundesliga. No one.
Well, that's why we love it, man. Yeah. That's why we love it.
Attack, end to end. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Before we get into our first segment, talk about chaos. Leeds 2, Sunderland 2.
Oh my God.
Everyone saw this game.
Everyone saw at least the end.
Yeah. Mike, this
what
keeper is
what
really
the fuck
something.
Was that? I would love to see an angle of behind the goal to see just how much this ball moved.
Yeah, it was these ones. I'm like, mate,
because that is like I don't even know what that was. I watched it. I replayed it about 25 times. I think.
I don't know what happened. What happened?
Because fair enough, a ball would deviate, but if your body's behind it, surely it hits some part of the body.
Like this, and it just let it like.
Surely it hits some part of the body. That is just, and Leeds they deserved it as well. They deserved 3 points.
They fought bloody well.
They came from behind. They played pretty well for the majority of that game.
Yeah.
Obviously, Sunderland had a few chances, but to give that goal away, he's got to be dropped. He cannot play the next game. I don't care how much that ball's deviated. That is criminal, especially with how tough the championship is. Well, that is a huge 3 points away at top of the table.
Well, that's the thing. That was your 3 points.
Away at top of the table. And Sunderland weren't bad as well in that game.
I think in the end, the points probably equal what both teams played like.
Yeah.
But the performance Leeds put in on the road as it coming down, from down, they deserved 3 points.
I can't believe that happened. We said it was a week of the goalkeepers, give them some praise.
And then there was Melia.
And then this happens. Good old Melia.
I
have no words for
dumbfounded.
I want to see behind the goal so badly.
And it wasn't like he could have actually came and collected on the full because there was so much time, I think, for him to just come out and he just stood there.
He just stood there and it just went past him.
And then checked his hands out like he's waiting for a little baby to walk in.
Move something. Move something. I don't know.
Outside of that, though, it was a great game of football.
It's a great game.
It was a great game.
It's a great game.
Cirkin opened up, reopened up, in the 9th minute. Leeds then equalised to Perot. Junior Fierper made 2-1. That was a great move, by the way.
Really nice
counter-attacking.
Really nice.
1-2 in there with Nonto, and then obviously at the end with the own goal. But Leeds had their chance equally to Sunderland, though, because like I said, Mundell doing his thing. Roberts was
good, really good. He is literally the epitome of a championship baller. Yeah. He is championship baller.
The Lukaku of the championship. Yes. He's the Lukaku of the championship.
Wherever he goes, he's team of the season. Right wing, just put him in.
He will cook at the championship. And then for Leeds, Nonto was fantastic.
Yeah.
Perot up top did a good job in that role, considering no one wants to play up top for Leeds. They all stink. No. Bamford stinks.
They don't want it. So.
What's the other geezer's name that missed that big one chance?
Aaron?
The guy that I forgot his name.
Him. What's his name? Yeah, another guy.
Early this season, he missed that massive one-on-one.
Yeah. Wasn't it like a few weeks ago? Wasn't it like the last game they played before?
Actually, might have. It might have.
Oh, what's his name? Oh, I forgot his. Oh, for fuck's sake.
There we go. Yeah, Joseph.
Him.
Joseph and
Bamford.
Joe. Yeah, Joe. Stinky Joe. Stinky Joe. Both of those ones, they're having riders. So Pirro goes up top, scores a good goal.
Yeah, did all right.
It was a good champ. That was just a
great
championship game
classic,
of
classic with the classic drama at the end, of course.
Yeah.
So.
Under the lights at the stadium, right, and then just stinker.
Sunderland, you're not complaining at all. That's a point gained.
I think for them they'll be happy with that. Yeah.
Still top of the league. So
still unbeaten.
The gap from like first to like 12th is a joke. It's like 6 points, I think. It's ridiculously close. So I hope it continues like this because I think we say it every year, but this could be like the closest championship we've had because there doesn't seem to be a team that's gonna run away with it. I think it's gonna be pretty close all year. So. This ain't like Leicester last year or who was the year before? Was it Fulham the year before?
Yeah, it would have been for
maybe
something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
One of those ones.
One of those
that keep bouncing up and down.
Yeah.
Because Sunderland top of 19.
Burnley. No, sorry, it would have been Burnley.
Company ball.
Yeah, company ball. They cooked all year, so I don't think it'll be like that this year, which is good.
Sunderland 19, Sheffield 19, Burnley 18, West Brom 17, Leeds 16, Watford 16, Norwich 15, Blackburn 15, Middlesbrough 14. That's your top 9.
Well, that's outrageous. That's a joke, isn't it?
Forget Rooney's Plymouth, who just keep winning
the
last kick of the game. They're in 14th now.
Okay.
I think they've had 2 last minute.
I know they're quite happy with how he's going. I've seen a couple of Insta posts saying Plymouth fans are quite happy.
Well, realistically, they're a team that's punching above their weight in the championship. I think any survival they'll take.
Any half decent football, I think we'll do. So.
And it's Rody. You can't get
good
mad
on him. Good on Wazza.
You can't get mad at Wazza.
Finally, maybe an English manager
succeed. Maybe. We might just have that there. We might just have our first candidate for successful English manager.
Get him at United. Him and Rude.
Goals for days.
Goals for days. The attacking football would be incredible.
No identity at all. Just go and score goals.
Just
whack them in. Boys.
Probably just sit at number 10 with Bruno. It's fine.
Double up there and just
double pivot. Not
deep
a
double pivot.
Get up there.
2 number 10s though.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to our first segment of the day, which is 5 players benefiting from a transfer this season.
Yep.
For multiple reasons, I guess they can be for the club, for them.
Yep.
For the price.
Yeah.
I didn't consider price, but it could be for price as well.
Could be, yeah.
Who have you got? And we've got one from each league.
One for each league.
Look at us go. Who's your
ball knowledge is
just through the roof.
Through the roof
today. It can be a very boring list, I feel like.
I've tried to be a little different with some of these.
Yeah, I've tried as well. I've got 2 different ones, I think, but the rest...
we'll see. Do you want me to go first?
You go first, yeah.
All right, so I'll start off in the Prem.
Okay, Prem.
I've gone with Illiman and Dye. Marseille to Everton. He was at Sheffield, absolutely cooked in the championship, and then got the big move, and it just didn't work out. Now back in England, in the Prem, which is good to see, and although his numbers may not suggest it, I think some of his performances, the one that sticks out was Bournemouth. I thought he was incredible. And then he got taken off, and then the whole collapse happened. So the collapse of Goodison happened. So, I think I've loved watching him this year. He's been really, really good. So, and he's back to his best. So he's benefited.
Had some sort of quality at Everton front line. It's very flat otherwise.
Exactly. Yeah.
I went with, I don't know if this even counts. I went Jaden Philogene, who went from
I
Villa to Hull back to Villa.
I was very close to going with him. Yeah.
Cooked in that Champions League versus Bayern. Apparently was doing crazy stuff in pre-season. So I was waiting for him to actually start a game. Yeah. Did it against Bayern, then came in versus United on the weekend. Probably wasn't allowed to do much because of how there was a 4-4-2.
That's actually why I went with Ndai instead, because that game was shocking.
Yeah, it was.
So
no one could kick ball in that game. That was one of the most. That was the closest Australian football has been to the English Premier League ever. But he's looked very, very good in the sub appearances, Carabao Cup, Champions League. So giving him the benefit, I think, because of the whole storyline that he was there, sold, then brought back for double the fee.
Yeah,
it's like Uno knew he stuffed up. Uno knew he stuffed up, and he's making up for the
he's been good. I'll go to the Bundesliga, and this is probably my most boring shout ever. I've gone with Elise. How could you not? Like, it's Elise, man. This guy's been just a joke. I knew he had the talent at Palace. You've been big on him since. I was like, is he that?
Is he there?
But
boy,
my God, were you right? And I've been proven, he's just, I can't believe the level he's at the minute. He's incredible. Ridiculous, man.
If he'd chosen to be English, cause
oh, man.
Like, he's not French, let's be honest.
He's not.
Bro does not speak a word of French.
He is not French.
He's linked up with Harry Kane. I know we talk about Son and Kane, but like what I'm seeing right now at Bayern with Kane in Elise, it's like it's like one touch, it just run into spaces. On the weekend, Elise's goal was set up by Kane just around the corner, flicking it just around a defender. He knew he was going to be there. I'm like, this is what Elise's needed. This is what Kane's needed. Something like this, the fresh movement. They just work together. And it was like he needed a big club, not a big club needed him.
Yeah, exactly. He needed that.
He needed that big club.
I can't believe the level he's playing at.
Just thriving right now.
It's ridiculous. I'll go to La Liga. I've gone with Lo Celso.
Valid.
At Betis now. I think the last 5 goals that Betis have scored, he's been the one that scored all of them. I think. So he's got 5 goals this year already, playing as that sort of attacking midfielder in a 4-2-3-1, while Isco hasn't been there, and that's benefited him big time. He's been able to. I don't think he never wasn't like a good player at Tottenham. We just never saw any of him. Basically. Yeah. So now he's playing really well, and he's benefited big time from that move.
I want a bit of a boring one. I want a bit of Roque.
Yeah.
Move to Betis as well. Again on loan. Haven't seen much yet. But for him just to play football, I think is the reason I got him in it. He would be stuck so far back at Barcelona, not because of him, because of just the way they're playing, the way Lewandowski is turning into Ballon d'Or form again. It's like, even if he was there, you're not seeing much time on the pitch. So I think for him, for Betis as well, to get a dangerous player up there, especially with some of the outgoings, and obviously with Isco not being... and being older and not being as present, you need that danger up top. So I think him going there will benefit not only the club, but actually him as well. I think Bears could be one of those shouts as I start to click come the end of the season or the middle of the season. You might be seeing less like those attacking players, including Roque, just start to click and fire, and he might see the best of them. So I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt going forward. Hopefully he starts to fire for them.
100%. Syria, I went with a man I mentioned last week, Matteo Retigu.
Exact same thing.
Yeah.
Very topical on the weekend.
Yeah, very topical.
His goals are scoring.
Killing it against his former team. I think he scored, I think Atlanta scored like 18 goals, and I think he scored like 7 of them.
7 or 8, yeah.
So, he's been incredible this year. With all the firepower they have up top with Lookman, Skamaka, I think he's been injured, but De Kessler as well, who they spent big money on. He's been their player of the season by a mile. So far, he's the only reason why they're even 8th, close to 8th.
Yeah.
So they would be like kind of 13th, 14th if he wasn't there at the moment. So because he's saved them big time.
Yeah, 100%
goals. So
I can't add much.
He's been killing it.
He's golden boot leader for a reason.
For a reason. Yeah.
And when Atalanta have struggled, it's sort of been him bailing them out, right? So that's sort of why I've gone, and because he's gone from a club like Genoa to a big club.
Yeah, that's one. Genoa will be kicking themselves because I think they're in the relegation. Yeah, moment, so
it's a club that needed talent like that to keep them afloat.
And they only got him for like just over 20 mil, I think it was. So it's a bit of at the moment it's a bit of a steal.
He's saying he didn't really do too much of the Euros. He was there, but he never really made a mark for Italy. So he'd be taking that 100% if you're Atalanta.
100%. Final one. I do have a Ligue 1 one.
I do have one as well. Mine's basic as hell.
I went with Geronimo Rulli.
Fair play.
Yeah, I want to be a bit different. I didn't want to go with like Greenwood or something. Which I think is what. Yeah, have you gone with Greenwood? Yeah. But I think they've only kept 1 clean sheet this season. But Rulli's been in some of the like important games, like the first game, you want to make a good start. He made some big saves against Brest and made the scoreline look what it was, 5-1. It wasn't a 5-1 game, but Rulli was incredible. I think the one against Lyon saved a penalty from Lacazette and was really good that game, kept them in it. So I think he's made a couple of mistakes as well, if I'm not wrong. But he's still been a pretty good signing for them.
Yeah, I think you can say, especially the first few games, you feel like he was...
Yeah, I think there was one game he made a really bad mistake, and I think it cost them a point or something. But still.
I feel like that's classic league in football though. Like someone's going to make a mistake somewhere, so I'm fine with that. And I went with Mason Greenwood, especially with this Malasar moving to Palace.
It had to be one of the Marseille
you needed someone to come and fill in the flanks, and well, they were top. I segue perfectly here to our next one, which is Monaco's top of Ligue 1.
Who would have thought?
Out of all the teams, I was not picking Monaco to be anywhere near it.
Anywhere near it.
This young team is just flourishing, just doing their thing.
Very, very well, man.
Champions League, they're doing fantastic.
Yep.
Fantastic in the league now. A 2-1. 2-1 win on the weekend. Yes.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, Tilo Gerher, Kara from West Ham, again, they just could pick up rejects almost.
Yeah, literally. I was going to mention him. He was
the header.
Shocking at West Ham.
Yeah, scores the first header, at the first goal, solid enough defensively. The Ren play, my God, the strike from 30-odd yards, just a bullet into the top corner to equalise. And then Balogun with a perfect little chip to make it 2-1 the 22nd minute. That was all the goals in the first 22 minutes of the game. And the rest of the game was just good chance after good chance, but no one could really find the back of the net. Again, another case of go away from home and get the job done if you're Monaco.
100%.
It was a
really good from them. They've had a great start to the season. Jesus, beating Barca in the Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
They've been defensively brilliant in Ligue 1, top of the league. A couple of points clear of Marseille as well. I think they've got a game and a half clear of Marseille, and I think they're 2-3 points ahead of PSG. So they couldn't have asked for a better start, and they're still missing. I don't think Minamino's.
No, he hasn't played.
He hasn't played, and he's been one of their best players ever since he joined. So, this is again. I think this can be sustainable. Similar to Leipzig, it's sort of going under the radar a bit. But the way they're playing, it's definitely sustainable, I reckon. So
14 goals scored again, nothing ridiculous, but 4 goals conceded.
Yeah.
19 points unbeaten.
And with rejects.
They
brought Kera for 10 mil.
Yeah.
I was going to have him in, but I was like, no.
Don't go that far.
Guy was just dog shit at West Ham.
But it's a cool little team, young players in there.
Yeah. I think Balogun's there, isn't he?
Yeah, Balogun's got that second goal. It sort of feels like a misfit bunch that sort of just put together.
And they lost Fofana as well, who was
really
player. Good at Monaco from all accounts. So.
It starts every game for AC, so it must be a big time player. So that's Ligue 1, 2 draws, 1 all piece for PSG and Marseille.
Anything to worry about for Marseille? PSG, I think it's just kind of a one-off thing. They had their chance.
That was just a crazy game, the Marseille one. But I feel like, is that just not what you sign up for with Ligue 1 football?
True, yeah.
It's just one of the most chaotic games.
It's weird, yeah.
But you do get the De Zerbi as well. You're always going to get chaos with De Zerbi.
Oh, always. He's never a quiet game.
He's not the most
I don't think there has been a quiet De Zerbi game in his career.
Let alone league. Yeah, it's a little bit of a worry.
Because we both had him winning the league.
Yeah.
It's still early days.
Yeah. It's not as convincing as
they haven't been convincing. Besides the first game, they haven't been as convincing as I probably thought.
It's a lot of Enrique and Greenwood.
A lot of Greenwood
magic.
masterclass.
Yeah. If you're not having them doing what they do best, and what are you at the end of the day?
They've got players like Højbjerg, and then that's just who they are. They're not the most consistent.
No, you're not going to get consistent
players.
bunch.
Yeah, no. So you'll get these performances, I think. So
in the end, I think they probably didn't. They might have deserved more than a point, but it was just one of those games. It was just chaotic.
It was just mental.
I didn't really know how to read into that much.
Yeah.
But I thought to myself, this is League 1. This is what you sign up for when you come to League 1.
This is League 1.
This is the league. Let's finish off by jumping to Italy with a fair bit to discuss. Let's save Fiorentina for last. That was crazy. Inter beat Torino 3-2.
3 crosses, 3 goals.
3 goals for THURAM. Funny game, red card, deserved, but then they actually didn't look as bad as I thought after the red card. Torino.
They looked alright.
Yeah. They obviously, Inter scored straight after the red card, which was, I guess, expected. You need to get your lip. But then they sort of fought back and had it interesting.
Inter again, not convincing.
No.
We thought after what was the game they drew it? No, they lost to Milan, and we sort of thought that's the result they needed.
Yeah, just to kick them into gear.
Kind of felt the same sort of way, the way they were playing.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have Bastoni crossing balls. We got a Serbi now. I mean,
that's what
we got.
A Serbi assisting.
We got a Serbi crossing the ball in before GDA 6. Like it's crazy, man. But I think I guess you just take the win and just move on. Like we know Inter are so much better than this. Defensively, I've been very disappointed in them so far.
Yeah,
they don't look anywhere near
not that same as last year.
As good defensively. So yeah, it's just one of those. Take the win and move on to more important things.
THURAM is pulling his socks up. His big boy socks up. They signed THURAM, who's a clinical, proven striker from one of the major European leagues.
Yeah,
that's won the Champions League. Obviously, got Lautaro, who he did last season, and for the Copa America, his spot could be at risk. Coming into the season, you think that could be a spot at risk. Always liked what he did. This season, he's said, "No, I am the guy. I'm going to take you as far as I can possibly take you." And
100%.
With Lautaro's lack of goal scoring form, and now that I think the pressures are starting to build on externally now from fans and pundits and stuff, he's shouldering a fair bit of the load to try and take that attention away from Inter. Because without him, they didn't really create too much in that game.
No,
there.
they didn't. I mean, it was 3 crosses.
Yeah.
Literally every goal was a cross. And either a header or
a shit volley.
A shit volley that somehow went in. So
I don't know how that went in.
I don't know. The keeper was, I don't know. It's just one of those, like, just went over his head.
Yeah.
It's just slow-mo. So, yeah, he's keeping them at bay at the minute. Mm-hmm. He's keeping them right within the top. So
they're still second, I think.
Yeah. How are they? They've played pretty bad.
Yeah,
for their standards.
Inter, they're at 6s.
Compared to last year, they are like a 4 out of 10.
Yeah. We talk about peak Inter. Actually, peak Inter probably was this time last year. Like they were firing from the start.
No team was getting close to them.
And we're looking at them now where they're just like shipping goals and not being able to create the same.
They're in the pack big time. So
the pack is there in the Serie A as well.
Oh, it's there.
I don't trust Napoli on top. That's the most.
No.
The classic thing. How did you get there? I felt like.
It feels like Conte's going to run them into the ground, and they're just going to run out of gas. Yeah. It feels like that.
18. But I can picture that.
Credit them. They're playing well. They've gone to that midfield 3.
They've got Super Scott.
They've added in Super Scott.
Scott in there.
He's cooking. Who would have thought? I think everyone kind of thought he would do well there. It just felt like one of those moves that would work.
It's the history of Manchester United.
It is.
Scott scores in 24 seconds. De Gea makes like
I think Fred's having a great season.
Yes.
I think he's got like 3 goals, 2 assists or whatever.
I saw all those memes today.
You see that?
Someone's like, how poetic would it be for Jose and Fred to come to Old Trafford and kill
knock him off? I would love that. I would love that.
I love Fred. I miss Fred.
There's a spot inside of you that would love that as well.
I'd bet.
Fred, I know you love Fred.
I love Fred.
Yeah.
I think Fred was ruined by Scott. But now that Scott's gone, was Fred Scott ruined? I don't know. Some things it's not meant to work out. That's Before I start crying, let's go with that.
Let's just move away from Syria.
If you don't laugh, you cry. Let's go with that. So about getting back though, Atalanta, we sort of touched on with Retegi's 3 goals, his hat trick, and his former side. This was the Atalanta of old. This was proper why they won the Europa League style of football. Like this was attacking, ball dominance. Genoa had nothing. They had no chance at all in this game.
Yeah, 100%. They needed that big win over Genoa. Atalanta big time. If they besides Juve, Atalanta were the team that needed to put in a good performance.
Yeah.
So yeah, really have it. They just look so free. Like Edison was just.
He was
driving 40, he was everywhere. That banger of a goal he scored. Darun looked much better. The defense looked a lot better as well.
Glassner's had one of his better performances for a long time. So
hopefully that's a Kickstarter because what's the striker's name again?
Retegi.
He's been keeping them afloat. Now it's time for the others to come and join him.
Jerome being in and back and fit obviously helps.
Yeah.
Captain.
And they've taken a while to get over how to replace Coop Miners.
Yeah, you can't really. Because they got Zaniolo, but he's kind of off the bench. I don't think he's
a bits and pieces player.
He's proved for the last 3 moves. What was it? Galatasaray, then Aston Villa. And now he's not a good enough starting 11 player.
He's just a decent rotation.
He's good for a European team that needs some rotation, sort of feels like. It's funny because they might have the Champions League that makes them get into form. A lot of teams sort of use Champions League as an excuse. They might use it as like, because they've been playing fantastic in the Champions League. I think
they have, they've been good.
If it wasn't for David Raya, they'd be,
the
first game a massive win. They get that confidence to kick on.
Exactly, yeah.
So I think you can sort of use the confidence from there to sort of get your season alive, because they're close.
Yeah.
Because to getting it.
And they haven't been good at all.
Yeah.
So
it's a good first step.
Yeah, it's a big first step. So.
And then finally, David De Gea, another Man United man.
Absolute masterclass. I mean, we're speaking off air. Like, I understand the wages and stuff were ridiculous, but how this guy didn't have a club for a year is ridiculous.
I don't know why Saudi didn't. I was thinking about just saying, why did Saudi not just take why did Al Nassr not just take him?
It's just weird, isn't it? They're just that would have been like, I think everyone thought he's going to Saudi, but nah. But no, it's good to see him in a competitive league.
Yeah,
playing for a team that can maybe be a surprise and kind of get around the Conference League level.
Yeah.
So yeah, good on him. I think everyone that was a sort of,
for the football fans,
for the real football fans.
Yeah.
That was one to remember, like prime De Gea against like Arsenal and stuff, when you had them AFTV guys saying he could save the Titanic. So,
but that was a De Gea performance. There's one.
He's not even good at saving. He wasn't good at saving penalties as well, wasn't he?
There's got to be a stat, but the last time he saved two penalties for United, I reckon you're going back maybe 5 years.
Like, he was never good at saving penalties. Like the Villarreal, the Europa League final, like I swear there was like 3 or 4 pens that he should have saved, and they just went right past.
Listen, after that traumatic experience, he didn't say that Golden Glove season, the first Ten Hag season. He did make a few. Obviously, won the FA Cup shootout versus Brighton.
Oh yeah.
And then there was another big save in, I think, the Europa League.
Probably,
in that run that was there. So he's improved, but you're right. He's not a penalty shot.
He's not known, but it's not like Emi Martinez, for example.
Yeah, exactly. The other moments outside of that were good as well. That he made one of those, traditional De Gea leg saves. One on one.
The one was it?
Was
it Chukwueze?
Maybe it might have been
the left footer.
Yeah,
I think that one was very impressive.
Saves. I just think it could be one of those ones Fiorentina turn to that counter-attack style and just willing to just take some shots on. He can try and save it and then just count. Because they got like the Moise Kean up top, which is like your...
Been there, done that.
Yeah, like the...
kind of player.
Can't finish, but is quick, so you can sort of get...
Been around the block, thrown around. Like
no one really wants him.
No one wants him.
So a good touch for Goodmanson's goal. Long ball. And again,
a goalkeeper playing a long ball. I have a huge issue with that goal. Was that Tomori who just jumped and just left it?
Like, I don't know what happened.
That's why he wasn't playing for England. I mean, that was absolutely shocking. Like, that is criminal. That gets managers sacked. That's not even Fonseca's fault. That's just your player being a dumbass.
Yeah. And then
even the penalties. I know you want to talk about.
The penalty. Okay. In the Inter game as well, was one of the penalties given for that as well, where like someone stamped on someone, but in the air.
Yeah. Like they're going to clear the ball. It's like the softest touch of a player's foot, and they're going down like they've been shot. Like, that's
fair enough.
I don't want them to be given those penalties.
It's fair because I guess they gave them across the 2 games on the weekend, both Milan games. But why would you want that to be a penalty? It's a coming together.
If someone comes in and absolutely smacks their leg off and misses the ball, then I get it.
Yeah.
But like, these are like minute touches of a player's foot, and we're giving them penalties. Like, they can't be penalties.
Because Dodo went down with the first. That was dramatic as hell.
That was shocking.
Teo Hernandez's clip. Let's just say that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
What was the next? Randers was brought down. That was probably a penalty. I'll give him that one.
Yeah, that probably was. Yeah.
Gabia and was brought down by Moise Kean.
Again, it's the same. It's very
like really.
It's like really.
Are we giving those type of penalties?
And obviously, players are playing for them because why not?
Well,
like, you got VAR and shit. If they're going to give them, then the players are going to do it.
Yeah.
But I don't want to see them as penalties.
No,
I don't think anyone does. No. Like, it's so soft. But
we have that in Serie A. Then we have, obviously, we didn't touch on the Girona game where every penalty was overturned, or the on-field decision was overturned.
The ref didn't give them.
Yeah.
So missed all 3, and then VAR gives them.
Yeah, penalty. It's like far
the Inter game, I think was that one. I think there was one in that one.
There's one in that one. A soft one. Yeah.
A lot of soft. Any form of contact these days apparently is a penalty.
It's a pen. Go down, you got a pen.
Go down, you got a pen. Any form of contact. So
Funny old line area. Game's gone.
How many times? I think we've said this every episode since we started. Game's gone.
Mate, we need to keep a constant image of that Sean Dyche utter woke nonsense. That has become football media, social media. There's heritage there. Utter woke nonsense.
Classic Dyche. Who doesn't love Sean Dyche?
We can't love a Sean Dyche football. With it all being said, Fiorentina did beat Milan.
Yeah, they did.
The pressure goes back on Milan.
Back on Fonseca after somewhat. I mean,
they were good midweek versus Leverkusen as well.
I know,
which is majorly more of a Leverkusen thing than a Milan thing. But
I mean, Pulisic is the only one. I mean, Leao's been majorly disappointing.
Awful.
He's probably been the most disappointing player in the world this season.
Yeah.
He's just. I don't know.
The commentators are on his back now as well. You hear it now.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's on his back now. Yeah. I think everyone's starting to realise. And you caught it really early.
He's just boring.
Like you said, he's a guy that's just so frustrating to watch.
The talent's
and I'm watching highlights and I'm frustrated by this guy.
Yeah, imagine watching the full night. I feel sorry for Milan fans.
I watched the Milan-Liverpool game and I was frustrated by him. That's the one proper game where I've watched him properly. But then I'm watching highlights and I'm like, oh my God.
Just
fuck, this guy's frustrating.
And make the pass or be clinical. Nothing. There's none of it.
Yeah, no.
If I'm a Milan
Fair
fan,
play, you called that really early on.
Pull my hair out from a Milan fan. I'm sick of it. I'm a Milan fan.
So it's so average.
Whilst Pulisic is scoring these fantastic volleys, and
he's having a great season. Shout out him.
I think it's 6 and 7 and 6.
7 and 6, something like that. Yeah,
he's
ridiculous.
Cooking.
Yeah, good on him. He's finally found a club where he's taken lead of that club. He's the face of that club.
Because it was a set piece later on, and he just cleared the ball out. He said, "Towner's pissed off." He said, "Leo, get out." He said, "I'm taking the set piece. You guys just go." I'm like, he obviously is he's trying to be the guy now.
He's the face of that club at the minute. So.
And with some of the penalty misses, Fonseca came out and said, "Pulisic is a penalty taker," and he doesn't know why no one allowed him to take the penalties.
He's cooking as well. Why? That's confusing.
Why are you giving it to the out of form
I think that
players?
just sums up Milan's season, to be honest.
Yeah. Town Anders and roughly are ruining it for everyone.
They were looking all right, and now it's just completely flipped on its head.
Yeah, I don't.
They win that game, we're probably having a completely different conversation.
Yeah.
They finally found their groove. Fonseca's, getting there.
Yeah.
Now it's no.
Got to use the momentum from the Milan derby. Just kick on.
How can you not use?
You're beating your rivals, the team that's got the 2 stars now.
You played so well. You should have won by more than 2-1. It should have been 3-4.
Yeah.
So it's just maybe it's similar to Dortmund with Sahin. Maybe it's just one of these.
Can't win on the road.
Just can't win. Can't win on the road and just so inconsistent that it becomes frustrating. And we probably stop talking about it because it's just what's new.
It's just, but it's becoming a Napoli again of last season. Sensitive vibe. There's all the games wrapped up. Let's finish off with our annual segment. This
big
one.
segment.
Good segment. The best player aged 17 to 32 this year. I think we went to 30 last year. We went to 32 this year.
17, 32.
Yeah. It's going to be maybe very similar, maybe not. I think all in all, we're pretty similar throughout it.
I actually think we have the same names for every.
Should we challenge who?
I reckon we have the same names. 17.
Lamine Yamal,
obviously, yeah.
It speaks for itself. Probably best player in the world right now.
Probably, yeah, along with Cole Palmer.
Take your pick. That might be someone else coming up. 18.
Zaire. Yeah, it had to be.
I think it's 50 appearances, by the way, recently for PSG.
There was obviously him and Endrick, but we've seen more of Zaire.
Yeah, so. He's actually played in the top flight
and
for 2 seasons.
He's been really good, so, yeah.
Getting a little bit phased out by João Neves at the moment.
Maybe a little.
But still being, I think,
still
impressive enough.
Yeah, he's still 18, so
still got at least 15 years in his career. Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, he's got time, I think.
19. This is a tougher one, I thought.
I went with Gula.
Yeah, I Gula.
There was my boy Matisse Tell, but he hasn't been playing, so how can I put him in?
There's someone else I'm pretty sure at 19 I looked at that I'm like, you could find a case for it.
Is Garnacho 19? Was Garnacho 20? No, Garnacho's 20.
There's someone else. I should have wrote the name when I wrote the list, but I mean, it was one of the tougher decisions for me. But I think when we see Arda Güler play for Turkey,
oh my God,
that sort of
incredible
answered my question for me, because when he does get to play, he's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And he's one of those now out as well, injured. So
he's one of those that could even generally be starting for Madrid, but obviously
when you got Brahim Diaz and you got Rodrigo, Endrick,
people,
it's tough. I think he needs to go on loan.
Yeah,
I want to see him just talking a league.
Yeah, that'd be good. But I don't think Madrid would
Would you allow that? No.
Good old Perez won't let that happen. So
he's already got the next article there signed.
Yeah, he probably does.
He's
Yeah,
got the next one lined up just in case. 20.
I stuck with Gavi.
I went Savinho.
Oh, that's a great shout.
Because I had Gavi last season for that.
Yeah.
Age. I went the 19. I was
19,
Gavi
yeah.
last year. This year I've gone.
I didn't even think of Savinho. I'm not gonna lie.
He's cooked for Girona. I still think he's the best City winger, but they're not playing. Pep's just not want to play him for some reason. But he always comes on and does amazing work for them.
That's a good one.
You're signed by Pep. That's
That's a really good one. Yeah.
So I went Savinho.
I think I might have missed that. I just stuck with Gavi.
Gavi talent is probably better, but I haven't seen.
Yeah, we haven't seen the
play
bloke
for
in 8 months. So.
8 to 9 months.
Yeah, no, I forgot he was. I didn't even think about him.
He gets forgotten because he's at City now.
I know.
Tots was said it on Monday. He said these players get forgotten about because they just get forced to be a certain type of player. You forget how
young he is as well.
Yeah. I know. He feels like he should be like 26, 25.
He feels like he's 24, 23, 25. Right
making his career move.
Yeah.
But he's just started.
That's a good
one. Savinho's my 20.
That's a very good one. 21 is a fucking... There's a lot of good ones,
It's just it's sort of what you feel. I went Jude because I think...
I went Jude as well, but there's Musiala, there's Wirtz, there's Camavinga.
Well, Wirtz was my... Initially, I wrote it down. Pedri as well. I initially wrote Wirtz down for the fact that I just love what he does.
Yeah,
I am a big Wirtz. I know you're a Musiala. I'm a big Wirtz stan.
I love both of them equally. Both.
But when you think what Bellingham... If you really think back to this time last season, we were... I was talking
this was
non-stop.
Ballon d'Or.
Yeah. This was no one can beat him type of thing. And the injuries sort of cooked him a bit, the shoulder and the foot and all this stuff. And he's obviously been playing with some sort of injury. So 100%. I still think he's the best.
Yeah, he still is the best.
Complete package.
Yeah.
22?
Cole Palmer, yeah.
Cole Palmer.
There's a couple of decent shouts. It's like Gavardio's in there. Nico as well.
Nico's there. And was this No. Sleep might be 23. There was Gabriel, it might have been 22. One of them was...
Gabriel?
No, not Gabriel. Who was...
No, I think...
One of the centre-backs were the same age as...
Maybe Saliba.
Maybe it was Saliba.
Yeah. Gabriel's like 26.
He's the older one, isn't he?
Yeah.
There was a thought process because Saliba is probably the best centre-back in the world. Probably, and I was like, shit, can I put him in or not? But I ended up going... He might have been with Cole Palmer. I think I just backed in Cole.
Yeah.
Just because...
I mean, he's the best player in the Premier League at the minute.
Yeah.
Cole Palmer, so...
And do you reckon, Tots brought up, do you reckon he can do the Henry 2020?
20 goals, 20 assists.
Yeah. He's I think he's 7 goals, 6 assists right now.
He could. Do I think he will? Probably not.
Yeah.
But
if he scores another 4 goals in the game again or 3 goals in the game,
true.
He literally can
He looks unstoppable at the minute, so honestly, he probably could do it.
Yeah, and Jackson, no matter what, actually score goals
if they actually can finish, then yeah.
Because since
could do it,
I've actually thought about it. I thought it's actually a real possibility.
It's a genuine possibility, yeah. But there's also someone else that could do it that we're probably going to mention after this.
Yeah, and he's 23 years old, is he not?
Saka, yeah.
Saka, yeah. That was the other one he proposed. He said, will Saka or Palmer do it?
Could be both in the same season. Could be. Jesus.
Problem is Saka doesn't score goals. He gets...
Yeah, he's cooking with
7 assists, or 8 assists, 2 goals.
He's cooking at the minute.
That pass to Martinelli at the back post.
He's he's improving his game big time. He's not just becoming that just generic right winger that'll whip the ball in. He's actually turning into that sort of creative right winger that can find a pass here and there. So yeah, him and Cole are the best right wingers in the Prem at the minute, and that's
run the league.
That's shows that I have no bias, because if we were doing top 10 right wingers, I'd put them 2 over Salah at the minute. So
fair enough. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Yeah, I can't add much more than that.
Yeah.
Saka is just, you can't hate the guy. He's just too good.
Yeah.
Someone who's too good is 24 Erling Haaland.
No. Vinny.
You put Vinny in there.
Vinny. Oh, I mean, we're talking about the potential Ballon d'Or winner here.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a 50-50. There's no wrong answer. Like,
I know.
It's chalk and cheese.
I want to do Vinny so bad, but I'm like, I gotta stop the overcompensation.
There was like Foden, Tchouameni as well, who were a bit unlucky.
There's some big ages here.
There's some tough players to miss out, but I did go Vinny.
Yeah.
I know you love Vinny. I thought you were going to go Vinny.
This is me overcompensating, just not look like a fucking suck up.
But yeah, just, I mean, they're both incredible. So
Next year's Ballon d'Or could be interesting.
Jesus.
Oh, I love we're thinking about next year, even though we've
Lamine.
We got Lamine. Haaland will probably score what? 35.
Cole Palmer.
Cole. Saka might have 40 assists.
Yeah, Saka might be in there.
We finally got past Ronaldo, Messi, and everything exciting again.
Yeah, it's finally Messi.
I
don't think Messi can win it. I don't.
Well, the MLS Cup changed it though. Has Ronaldo won an MLS Cup? That's the question they were going to ask.
God. Surely not. Imagine if he's in like the top 10, like just purely on the fucking MLS Cup. That would just be promotional reasons. That wouldn't be like promoting MLS.
Get the Americans in there.
Fight and win things. Honestly, MLS. Jesus. What a league.
Talk about utter woke nonsense. Utter woke nonsense in MLS. 25.
Kylian. Had to be.
Yeah.
Had to be.
Despite
your hatred.
Not hatred. Disappointment with how it's all working out. Saying that Vinny's getting assists deluxe these days.
Yeah, he is.
I'm not complaining. Kylian Mbappe's doing a job.
Yeah, he's doing bits. Still scoring. His
goal numbers so ridiculous.
Exactly. I don't think there was really anyone else to rival even close.
Yeah, I don't think it was even close in his age group. And 24, 23, I think 24 and 22 was pretty close. But
even 21.
21
was the big one.
But 25, I think, was just straight sets. 26 was interesting.
I have a story about 26, by the way.
You have a story?
Trent just turned 26. Remember last year when we did this? It was Mbappe and Trent, and I made the joke about Trent's in, but then obviously Kylian was 20 at the same age.
He did a better time this year.
So I was like, he's in. And I look at the age and I'm like, oh, there's no one really else. Valverde is 26. And I'm like, are you serious? I got to put him in. So Valverde goes in. And Trent's never going to be one of these.
So I'm going to time this. When does Valverde turn a year older and Mbappe
doesn't age?
How does that work? When do they cut that time of year? What time of the year is that?
How do we figure this out?
How do we get Trent in this?
So Trent misses out again. So Valverde.
Tough time for Trent. Fede Valverde walks in.
Walks in.
Again, fantastic on the weekend as well.
Ridiculous, yeah. Still, again, I'm going to keep punching on about this. Still underrated.
Yeah, I hate people who said he's overrated.
He's the best midfielder in the world and he doesn't get any credit. Well, besides, in terms of centre mids, the best. But obviously, just a generic midfielder, you'd probably say Rodri still. But,
complete eights?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to challenge
Jesus.
He oozes Real Madrid.
No one talks about him. There's never any posts about him.
No.
Well, nothing.
It'll be the Modric. When he's 34, everyone's like, he did win 5 Champions Leagues and he did.
Yeah. He was actually probably one of their best players, if not the best player. So
he was with the best midfielder in our generation. Oh, shit.
We really missed out on him, didn't we?
We missed out on those 10 years prior that he was actually handed. 27.
Bit of a this is an interesting one.
It's a
Ruben
harder
Diaz was in there. Frankie De Jong.
Yeah,
I did go with Lautaro.
You went with Lautaro in the end.
I did go with Lautaro.
You stuck firm.
Yeah, because I think last season he was. He was the third best striker in the world last season. So.
That's why I did it. I was sick. I was thinking I because of City tax.
I mean, he doesn't even start every game these days. Like they got Akanji and stuff, and even De Jong.
I can't trust De Jong on my list. He might get injured if I name him on the
list. He might get injured on the exactly.
No, I went Lautaro as well. I've been harsh on him, but last season was out of his world.
Yeah, still.
When he's good, Inter's good. I still will.
Yeah,
I'll live by that.
I think you were bang on about that.
I'll live by
he is the barometer for that team.
Yeah.
If he plays well, they'll win.
Yeah,
if he doesn't, then it's a bit like their season so far.
Yeah, shaky.
28.
Rodri.
Yep. Even with an ACL.
With or without it, I'll take a Rodri. I'll take a Rodri.
Yeah, we'll take him, How's he 28?
Yeah, bro oozes 38.
He's been 28 ever since he joined Man City, I swear.
He's been 28 for 10 years.
Hasn't changed.
He's been 28 for 10 years.
He has.
It's the way he plays. He plays at 28.
It's like Fabinho when he had that horror season and he was I think he just turned 30 and everyone's like, nah, he lied on his passport. He's 38. He's a 38-year-old man.
Washed past.
Yeah.
He was 30. Give his powers.
Yeah.
Nah, same. I think winner. I keep saying. I'll just keep saying Rodri winner. I don't know how.
He's revolutionised that position. And you can't just be a destroyer. You have to provide something offensively.
It's tough being number 6 in the world. You can't live up to Rodri.
Yeah, no. You can't even get close.
So. Maybe the closest to it at number 29 for me. I went Kimmich.
I went with Kimmich as well. Yeah. I
right
love
back.
This guy. I've wanted him at Liverpool for about 10 years, but it's fine. He's
not hurt.
Love him. Great player.
Just
consistent, versatile.
versatile is big.
Good player. So,
and he's been there through it all since he's arrived. He's sort of been through everything. So I respect that.
Won everything.
29, 30.
30. I went with Bernardo
Same.
Silva.
Bernardo Silva as well. He's still a great player. I think it's one of the.
I think there was a conversation last year. I think I went Bernardo, and I think you went Bruno. Fernandes, yeah. But with how Bruno's been this season,
I know 7 games. I cannot do it on 7 games. Oh my god!
The fall off needs to be studied.
The captain armband weighs heavy on Bruno's arm. Bernardo's.
Yeah.
And he can play right, down the middle, at the 8.
Yep.
And he's proven with De Bruyne missing, Rodri now missing, ins and outs.
I know he's a bit of a pain in the arse sometimes with some of the stuff he says. I
hate him on the pitch.
Arsenal, he was having to go at them. I know when Liverpool won the league, he didn't even give a guard of honour. He just kind of walked away. So, but on the pitch, he's he's a hell of a player.
Bit of a magician, little hobbit, but he's a magician.
Little pest.
Yeah, I hate him. But
he's a pest you would want
if he's on your team.
Oh, you'd love him.
You'd love Bernardo Silva on your team.
Yeah.
31.
This was all the goalkeepers. You had like Edison, you had Oblak, but I did go Kane.
Yeah. I was about to say there's a fair chunk of goalkeepers in there.
This is when goalkeepers hit their prime. So literally, they hit 30 and they're just completely different.
Yeah, they're different gravy these guys. But Harry Kane's just
had to be Harry Kane.
How many match balls he got in his house is the question it does. Yeah. The Bundesliga must hate Harry Kane.
all the match balls, but
not a single trophy.
Not a single trophy. So
had to be mentioned. The trophy.
Had to be mentioned.
Had to be the trophy.
In case you didn't know, Harry Kane has not won a trophy.
The counter continues. There should be a counter for how many days it's been.
Oh, there probably is. If you look it up on Google, there probably is like a live. It's like
how many minutes?
It's like Essendon when the last time they won a final. There's a counter on some guy posts every day. It's been this amount of days.
It's been 1,948 days since Harry Kane won a trophy. Audi Cup does not count.
Audi Cup does not count, mate. Yeah.
And 32.
I didn't even have a look at this age. I just knew that this player was 32. Mo Salah.
Of course.
Okay, good. There wasn't anyone else.
No, Mo Salah's the guy.
So yeah,
Mo Salah. It's the Premier League.
Yeah. In terms of output, he's been great. His decision making this year has really annoyed the hell out of me sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's still playing good, but yeah, still getting the numbers. Just the performances haven't quite hit the heights. But
it's been a nearly season for Salah.
Yeah,
been like 3, 4 fantastic.
But still,
games.
I'd rather him start off slow, have the numbers, and finish off like a house on fire.
Yeah.
Usually he does the reverse. Usually he starts off like
slows up.
Top 3 player in the league.
Yeah.
20 goal contributions in 10 games. So usually AFCON hits and then the
no AFCON this year.
No AFCON. So hopefully we'll get a good full season of Mo Salah.
Yeah. And even these bad games, he's still playing.
That's the thing. He still gets a goal or an assist.
Yeah. Can't stop Mo Salah when
it's like the game against Bologna. I watched that one. His decision making was honestly, you could put a 6-year-old out on that wing and they would have made some better decisions than him. But he gets a goal and assist. And it's like, I mean,
it's like on the weekend. He was. He's never felt like he was involved, but I never felt like it was great. But he's always involved.
Always involved. Yeah.
Always involved.
Just finds a way.
Mr. Level, Mr. Premier League, Mo Salah 32. There you go. So the only difference
was Gavi, wasn't it?
Fabinho and Gavi
and Vinicius Haaland.
Which, you know what, is probably fair enough. They're 2 very tough decisions to make between those 2 players there. Yeah. Anyway, we'll come back next year when Trent is not the same age as Mbappe or Valverde.
So Valverde needs to age, and Mbappe just needs to
stay the
same for
a day at least.
Yeah, for 12 months because we'll Jesus.
There's always some time of the year they're all different ages, surely.
Oh yeah, no, I think
There's got to be one day. How do I
Because I started making the list. And I was like, oh, Trent's not getting in. I put Mbappe first.
Yeah.
I was like, Trent and Mbappe are the same age. And I went on Instagram. Oh, Trent's birthday. Yes. 26.
Sign him up.
Valverde. Shit. But I mean,
so before Trent's birthday, after Mbappe's. No.
Yeah.
Fuck. Watch us do this now, like the middle of the transfer window, like next year, because it will line up perfectly.
Watch us do this on
Trent's birthday or something.
Yeah, on Trent's birthday. When he turns 27 and Valverde.
Just squeeze him in somewhere.
Yeah.
Trent, it's alright.
To be fair, if there is a player to leave out, like to put in place of Trent, Valverde is not the worst shout.
He could probably play every position Trent could play. So
probably, yeah. He might have to play right back,
He could
play. I mean, he could do it easily. He might have to play right back.
He might have to.
And hopefully he cooks there and they don't come in for Trent in January.
I'm about to say, because otherwise they're getting Trent anyway.
Oh, man. Nervous times.
When it rains, it pours, and it's never...
It just doesn't stop, does it?
Never stops.
It doesn't stop. It's hailing.
Yeah.
Your roof's just...
You can never breathe in football. There's always something happening.
There's always something happening.
To ruin your day or make your day, there's always something that's going to come.
Always.
That's football. And that's this
episode. The beauty of it. That's the beauty of it.
What a poet way to end the episode.
Yeah.
That's football. That's life. Thank you for joining me, mate. It's been good to be back. Next week is internationals. So, again, we'll go to one podcast next week.
Yeah.
We'll try and get all four. We'll try again to get all four of us on the couch.
The chaotic four.
We'll see if it's possible. But it'll be good fun. We'll do more of this stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us, guys. Like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. 5 stars on Spotify. Keep tuned in for the week after, because then we'll be back with a lot more exciting stuff.
The run into Christmas is going to be constant. It'll be good.
It's going to be crazy.
We'll be here hopefully every week. So
I don't know how we're going to do it. Midweek games on top of games. It's gonna be.
And you got your Europa League as well. You got to watch that.
Go.
You might make the like middle section, get into the playoff or whatever.
I'm looking like Fabrizio posted the ladder, like looking for our team.
Yeah,
like, where the hell are we?
Where the fuck are we? It's ridiculous.
I'm seeing past their names. I see Man United.
Man.
On that note, thanks for joining us, guys. We'll see you next week.